That's awesome.
Hey, street talk and other stuff. Mike Mad Doug Magnotti. I was talking to my guests when the intro started, so I was a little bit distracted. But this is live TV, so we're having a great time. So look, I appreciate you tuning in today. This is middle day in September. And I have got a really cool show today. Very proud to have these ladies on today because this is a great thing that they're doing. I personally appreciate it for reasons which you will come to understand, but I want to thank you for tuning in today, for being consistent watchers of the Street Talk Show, all 16 or 17 of you. But hey, Street Talk and other stuff. Got a good show. You stick around. We will be right back.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Call Alpine Air Heating and Cooling today. Your comfort is their priority. Central Washington Water understands the power of healing waters. If part of your wellness routine includes hot heat from a sauna, Central Washington Water now carries indoor and outdoor infrared and hot rock saunas by Tilo. Research shows there are many health benefits to a cold plunge after a good workout or relaxing time in your sauna. Harness the power of water in a hot spring spa, plug-and-play spas, a Tilo sauna, or a cold plunge tub. Stop by Central Washington Water, your wellness experts.
Okay, we're back. Street Talk and other stuff. Mike Mad Dog Magnotti. I'm very happy to introduce these two ladies. Okay, Laura, Chris, Laura.
Nice to meet you
Nice to-
officially.
Yeah, it's good. It's nice. And Keller,
Yes.
Malone.
Nice to meet you.
Good to have you. Appreciate that. Now, here's the thing. These ladies are the support of some of the most important people in your lives if you live within the city of Wenatchee, because they are wives of Wenatchee City Police officers, okay? And they have an organization they want to tell us about today, and the name of the organization is?
It's Wenatchee Blue Family.
Okay, and I'm going to ask you more about that in a minute, but first, tell us a little bit about yourselves. So, Keller, tell us, you're on. Tell us about yourself. Go on.
I'm pretty much born and raised in Wenatchee.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah, we left for a couple years and came back home, and nothing's better, honestly. And we have 2 kids here in the Valley and homeschool, and my husband's a police officer here.
Good. Okay. How long and what's your husband's name?
Justin Malone.
Justin, how long has he been with Wenatchee PD?
6 years.
Okay, all right. What's his current job right now? Is he on patrol?
Yeah, he's on patrol.
Okay. And they're still working 12s, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Very cool. Has he ever talked to you about the evaluation process?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if they're still using it, but I developed the evaluation system many years ago before I left. I don't know if they're still using it or not, but it was a lot simpler than it used to be, so that has no relative.
Like the psych val and everything.
Yeah. Okay, Laura, how about you?
So I grew up in Kitsap County, which if you know, that's a ferry ride from Seattle.
Okay.
After my husband and I got married, we kind of threw a dart and landed in Texas,
Oh my
where we
gosh.
spent 7 years
Boy, your
there.
aim was bad.
Hey, we like Texas. But we lived outside Austin, and that's where he started his law enforcement career.
Oh, okay, all right.
So
Working for the Austin PD?
Yes.
Okay.
And so he started his academy when our baby was a newborn, which
Okay.
was quite the experience.
Yeah.
And then we had 3 kids and realized the benefit of free childcare and childcare that you trust. So we moved back to Washington, but after experiencing the sunlight, we couldn't move to the Seattle side. So we landed here.
Okay, well, cool. Yeah, well, like I said, I was with Wenatchee PD for 20 years, okay? So, I would probably not recognize your husbands, but please remind them that if they ever stop me, I get the employee discount.
Employee discount. I'll let them know.
Okay, all right. Okay, so Wenatchee Blue Families, what is that, okay?
Well, Wenatchee Blue Family was started because we saw a need as wives who have gone through critical incidents ourselves, and we just want to build that community together and be there for when things happen and have resources available for that.
Okay, what kind of things have come up that you've been able to respond to? You don't need to get into all the necessary specifics, but the police work, I mean, since I've been gone, there's been incidences of police officer shootings that were very infrequent. There was one in 1986 before I started, because that's the year I started, and I'm trying to think later. I don't think anybody in the whole, in the 20 years I was a cop was in, well, no, there was one. One officer involved shooting. But it was very rare. But ever since I've been gone, I think there's been like 3 or 4 of them. So, so what other type of incidents have come up that you feel an organization like yours needs to be involved in with the families?
The main one that comes to mind is mental health. I think there's a big stigma around it, and it's part of why we started Wenatchee Blue Family, was to find resources that are local. A lot of the departments have resources, but they are out of the area, and none of them span to the families. Which, as I'm sure you know, if you go through a critical incident, that secondary trauma affects everybody in the family, from the spouse all the way to the kids.
For sure, definitely.
So it's not even just in our valley that's a need. I think that's a nationwide need. But we all kind of came together and started that. So mental health is a big one. Loss. Loss of family members, not necessarily in law enforcement. I mean, we've had a few line of duty deaths, but with law enforcement, I feel like, as you would know, you're kind of compounding that trauma, and you never know what life event is going to cause it to come out.
Yeah, I mean, when I was an officer, during my period of time, we didn't lose any officers, but 2 officers lost their spouses. And one of them actually, the husband of one of our officers had a ultralight plane accident. She was the first person on the scene. It was her and her son that were involved. And I mean, you cannot describe the amount of trauma that goes on with somebody like that. So, okay, so what else has prompted you to start this organization?
I think the other side of it is community. There's 5 agencies in the valley, 5 plus a few. And we felt like there wasn't really relationships across the departments. So that was a need that we saw that we wanted to fill. And so we've done quite a few different community events, bringing the departments together and the families together. Our goal is to get to the point where we're doing a community event once a quarter.
Oh, cool.
And just something fun, because law enforcement, there's a lot of stress, and we want to try and reduce that stress and build relationships so that when there is a crisis or somebody's struggling, maybe not even a full-blown crisis, just somebody's struggling, there's that relationship where they feel like they can reach out to us, and then we can help and support.
Yeah, there's I can't remember his name, the guy who wrote the New Centurions. I don't know if you ever read any. This goes back before you were born. Literally.
Sounding familiar.
He was a police officer with Los Angeles Police Department. Got up to the rank of sergeant, eventually became an author. You guys know who I'm talking about. New Centurions, The Onion Field. And he said that it's not the physical danger that makes police work one of the most dangerous jobs, but the emotional stuff that's involved.
Absolutely.
Okay. And I know you mentioned the need for mental health work. What kind of resources have you been able to find because of that? Because I know back when I was a cop who went through a critical incident could access 3 sessions with a therapist. And that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Amount of time.
That's
also,
not enough at all.
Another thing back then, you couldn't have peer input. Okay, and I think that's different now.
That's definitely different now.
Peer support.
All right, so tell us about what kind of resources are available now for an officer who goes through
So the department side is going to be a little bit different than what we have put together, but we have a male and female therapist that we work with pretty often, and they're covered by all of the insurance in the Valley, so it's a covered service. And if there is a critical incident, they are willing to go as far as to go to the house and provide therapy from adult all the way to kids.
Oh, great, excellent.
So, because some kids can't do Zoom, or some, even parents, or in a really stressful situation, you don't want to sit in front of a camera.
Oh, no. I do everything by Zoom. You know, I'm a therapist, too. Just for personal health reasons in my family. But yeah, you cannot, it's not the same as when you're face-to-face and like, directly in touch with people, so.
So that's one. The other thing, we have partnered with the Alethea Writing Center, and they have expanded their veteran program. So now they're going to cover all first responders. And we have, I think, 2 officers in the program right now. And we expect that to grow along with other first responders that are there. And the other resource that we are pulling is neurofeedback. Are you familiar with that at all?
Not really. I mean, I started counseling late. There's a lot of things I would have gotten into had I been younger, but I'm planning now on retiring in a couple of years. So go ahead.
So I would probably butcher the description of neurofeedback, but I can try.
Anyway, like I said, nobody's fact checking.
So what I like about neurofeedback.
Nobody's going to call up and say, I want to know what she's talking about.
Oh my gosh. What I like about it is it's a therapy that you don't have to talk for. So if you know officers or even spouses, talking is not something we like to do. And so with trauma, it affects a part of your brain, and the neural pathways get disrupted. So with neurofeedback, they're doing bilateral brain stimulation through lights and sound, and it starts to repair the damage done to the brain.
Okay, interesting. Okay, the technique I take, and I've worked with veterans, worked with Central Washington Veterans Counseling, an excellent organization, by the way, for a couple years, dealing with both primarily Vietnam and sandbox war guys. I did a lot of exposure therapy.
That's a big part of it.
Both talking and written exposure. And I've done written exposure therapy with trauma victims for a long time. So
that's huge.
All right, what job is your husband in right now? What's he doing?
Currently patrol, and he's also hostage negotiation.
Is he really? Okay. And what does he talk about when he gets home? Because I have a theory about this. I have a theory about involving your family, so I will share that in a minute. Go ahead.
Well, it depends. I sometimes hear from other people more about like what has happened. My husband, I mean, he talks about things when he feels like sharing, but he also doesn't want to, add too much stress to the family. But we walked that quite a bit. I mean, my husband was in a 9 weeks in and out academy up north. He was in a shooting. And so we've kind of walked.
Since he's been here?
No, this is up north.
Oh,
so
okay.
So his first position was up north, and he was 9 weeks in on the job from academy, was in a shooting. So we've kind of learned to just tell the truth and be open, and because I feel like if you don't process those things, they come up later.
No, exactly. See, this was the issue I had with Vietnam vets and even sandbox guys. I mean, you don't deal with it, that it's there and it comes out. A lot of these Vietnam guys would say, there's nothing wrong with me, but you talk to their wives or kids.
Well, I think in their mind there isn't anything wrong with them. A lot of times they can't see it, but the spouses can, which is part of why we're here. We did a really awesome workshop recently for spouses, and it was training them on how to identify the signs and symptoms of PTS, burnout, compassion, fatigue, all of those things, and then what options there are, because it is the spouse that sees it first, I think, before the officer, or before they're willing to admit it.
Or it's the spouse that's experiencing it, because that was for us. It wasn't my husband processed it really well. It was for me.
Oh, certainly,
more than my husband. And so that was another thing, is that like I didn't even see that in myself because I didn't know what was going on, how I was feeling.
Exactly.
And then it's even like the outside life experiences that come into the workforce as well. I mean, when you lose a family member, a really close family member, that also can trickle in and affect.
Okay, well, there's other stuff I want to get into, but we need to take a break, okay? So we're going to take a quick break, come back, talk to these ladies. This is fascinating. It means a lot to me, and I, personally, thank you very much for what you're doing, okay? Because it's something we tried to get going back years ago. We never did, but the fact that you're driving this is excellent. So, hey, good for you, okay? But hey, Street Talk and other stuff, you stick around. We will be right back. So.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Tour Moses Lake just a gas tank away. With its abundance of outdoor activities, Moses Lake is a great place to visit. From fishing and boating to exploring the city's attractions, there is no shortage of things to do. Whether you're enjoying any one of the variety of restaurants with the family or an adventure-filled day with friends, Moses Lake has something for everyone. TourMosesLake.com and start your adventure today.
This is Phyllis. At 92 years young, her typical day starts out on the course.
Last year, I golfed over 300 days. In 2002, when I got my first hole-in-one, Abby's gave me a free pizza. Over 20 years later, I'm still golfing and I'm still eating their pizza. I just think Abby's is legendary.
Abby's, legendary pizza for legendary people.
Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous Farmers Market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
Okay, we're back. We're talking with Laura, Chris, and Kelly Malone. They are of Wenatchee Blue Family, an organization that, this is not national. This is something you ladies created here, right?
Yep. I know. But maybe we'll get national one day.
Well, could be. You never know. And this is an organization that supports police families. Mm-hmm. Okay, now, we've talked about how much does your hubby share with you as far as we go? And then I'm going to share my theory.
Your theory. He's actually very open with me. I would say, if any, like, he comes home and he debriefs his whole day for me because I love it. I love to hear every little bit of it.
Sure, yeah.
But also, if something's affecting him, I see it before he even opens his mouth. And I would rather know what's affecting him. So if he's going to be, like, if he needs space, I can offer that grace for him. Because if I don't know, and it's just like, I want him to be present with the kids otherwise or help with the chores, but if he really needs space and I understand the reason, then it's easy for me.
See, I think that's important. I mean, the wife is there in my mind to help her husband be a better man, okay? And when I started, I knew I knew a couple guys who were already working, and their wives had scanners that they listened to all the time.
Oh gosh!
See, I love that part.
I could not.
I said to Rosie, "You want me to get a scanner?" She looked at me. What? You think I want all this?
So I have a funny story about that. So now trackers, we have trackers, and when my husband first started his career, it was his first day on the job, and I had no idea that they sat on people at the jail that were arrested. And or they sat them at the hospital, and at the hospital you don't have cell service.
Oh gosh, don't.
So
please.
he gets to the hospital, and I see him sitting there, and I'm like, it's been hours at this point, and I'm texting other people from the academy. I'm like, guys, at what point do they call the spouse? Like, it's been hours. Like, are they just not wanting to deliver the news? Like, what's going on? And then he called me, and he felt so bad because obviously all my messages came through, and he's like, I'm fine. I probably should have given you a heads up that that's what we do. Yeah. So now I know.
Well, issues of child abuse and sexual assault were big in my life and my family. So when I was a sex crimes detective, I talked about it all the time, and I would actually... When I was in detectives, I would take my kids on what we called perv patrol.
Oh my gosh.
And I would point out, this guy here did this guy here did that. And occasionally I would see people on the street. You know, my kids are elementary school age at the time.
Yeah.
See that guy there? He looks like a normal citizen, didn't he? Well, this is but, you know, my daughter and son, very emotionally healthy. My daughter now works with the attorneys who support people whose kids are in foster care. Very well-adjusted people. And a wife wants to know what's going on in her husband's life, okay? So I didn't hide anything from Rosie. I remember one day when I was in detectives, I was going to be the point person on a drug deal, and she came out and says, "Is it dangerous?" I said, "Well, yeah." And she said, "Well, I love you." And I said, "I love you too." It didn't work out that way. You know, but no, I'm a believer in sharing stuff. I'm not a believer of keeping things from your family, and so far with us it worked out pretty well. So okay, so what other activities do you have? You brought some stuff that you have for kids.
Yeah, because that's been part of just developing resources, what we can have. If there's a family in crisis, what can we truly provide that's tangible and helpful? And in the last few months, we have experienced a lot of worry and a lot of emotions, and so we actually got these recommendations from a therapist out of Spokane. So this first book is The Worry Monster.
Okay.
And actually on Amazon you can get a little monster.
Oh, okay.
And you'll go with the story, but you write down your worries and then you feed it to the monster before bed. So a lot of, I mean, kids not even just in the law enforcement world have a hard time going to bed at night because of fear. And so this was a really cute, fun book. And then we have one on anger.
Okay.
The terrible things that happen. And then we have a memory box one. This one's
these
about
help kids
loss.
work through these type of traumatic incidents.
Yeah, so it gives you the opportunity to have the conversations with them at an age appropriate. We've been learning what age appropriate is because, you know, every therapist is like, well, you need to talk to your kids, but you need to have it an age appropriate conversation.
Well, true. Well, you guys
and we're like,
both
what
have
the
children,
hell does that
right?
mean? Like, you know,
well, you're going to learn what age appropriate.
I'm like, well, one kid could, what's
so
age
different per
appropriate
kid.
for one could not
not
be
the
for
same.
another.
Yeah. Exactly
and so
right.
finding that balance has been really difficult, but the books do help.
Yeah.
This is the other one, The Invisible String. I haven't read this one yet. But,
Show the cover. Show, you know.
Oh, sorry. I'm going the wrong way. The other thing that we put together, this was a project kind of in the beginning. It's called our Emergency Preparedness Family Binder.
And this is something you guys put together yourselves?
So we designed this.
You guys, I like you guys. Wow, good for you.
I mean, it's a happy thing, but it's also kind of sad because what you're prepping for is the worst case scenario. When you have a loss, I've known a few widows, they don't have the conversations about finances, your passwords, your will, what other things we have,
I mean, there's
tons of health insurance.
How do you want to be buried? So my husband, when he was in his shooting, we kind of talked about like what if it had gone the other way?
Yeah, right.
Like, how would you want me to bury you? Do you want to be buried in your uniform? He's like, no, I would want you to save her. I'm like, well, I just messed up.
I told Rosie the same thing. You know, I do not, you know, just when I go, I don't want any of the police stuff, you know, it's just, I mean, I'm proud of it. It just
and that is another question. Do you want the whole police funeral and all those things? It's just things that, I mean, and we lost a really close friend, and we just even lost a grandparent. And so grief is really prevalent in our life this year. And just going through that life experience, and I mean, they're not law enforcement, but still the same things apply, like
very much
health
so.
insurance, life insurance, passwords, like Laura had suggested. How do you want to be buried? But these are all realistic things that we all need to walk through and think of and plan for, especially, you know, because in some instances they're not available to answer those questions. And then along with the grief as well, it's great, like you had said, that you talk to your kids openly about things. I think that's really healthy because we are honest with our kids and we show our emotions to them to show that it's not scary. It's okay for daddy to cry in front of you, and he's just feeling his emotions, and that's natural.
Exactly, right. And it's not anything, you know, empathy and concern is fine, but it's not really something to be overly upset about.
Right.
And kids are going to worry and be concerned, but if you explain to them what's actually going on, they'll have some basis of understanding what's going on. And this is off the topic a little bit, but to show you my attitude, do you guys get the Wenatchee World by any chance?
No.
You don't? Oh my
We
God.
look online.
Yeah, we look online. I don't do paper. I don't even read books
Look
like
online.
mostly. Unless they're kids' books, I'll do it.
Look online to the Weekender session of Last Wenatchee World.
Okay.
And you'll find an article I wrote. Okay, and it's called "Daddy Did a Drug Bust and Other Children's Poems."
Oh my gosh.
So it talks about how I dealt with my kids, but really, it's interesting.
Okay,
Well,
we're gonna have to read that.
and they do live a different life than other kids.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
they
they see things and like, you know, so like the creepy campers are what my kids call
Yeah,
them.
I have a story on that.
And my dad, they like see one down on Columbia and they're like, hey Daddy, can you kick those guys out for me? Like once you're back on shift. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
What's your story?
So hypervigilance is a thing that I feel like all law enforcement
Yes.
kids have. It's
Yeah.
instilled with them because we are hypervigilant. We're always paying attention to our surroundings. I had taken my kids to the new splash pad by the Apple playground. I don't know what the name of it is, but it's really awesome. And they were playing, and this guy comes in fully clothed, starts like washing his hair in the fountain. And
Justin called it, I told you.
Welcome to Wenatchee.
So my son though comes over to me and goes, Mom, what is that guy doing? And I'm like trying not to make a scene, so I'm like, I don't know, he's probably just hot, like it's okay. He's like, well, I don't know why he's here. I'm like, well, he could be a dad. And he's like, okay. And he just kind of starts his own thing, and then we get into the car, and he goes, Mom, that guy wasn't a dad. He wasn't wearing a ring. The fact that he paid enough attention though, to look at the hand to see, like his gut was off, and I mean, he could have been right, and we'll never know.
Smart
but
kid.
yeah,
Smart kid.
super smart at 6. I
Yeah.
mean, it's kind of sad in a sense because we shouldn't have to be that hypervigilant, but in today's society, we kind of have
Well,
to.
it's just, you know, my daughter has got stories, and it was kind of tough for her because, you know, I made a vow. Back when I was a cop, we had 3 boys who graduated high school drown, okay? Fleeing from the cops. It was up a Lake Wenatchee thing.
Oh, no. Wow.
And and one of the kids was the son of a very prominent, well-loved person. And I just vowed at that point, if I find out about a booze party, I'm going to let somebody know. And this put my daughter in a difficult position because she was in high school. And I had to go to the father of one of her best friends and say, hey, look, you're going out of town this weekend? Well, your daughter's having a party. He says, oh, there's going to be boys. I said, no, there's going to be beer, okay? So Marie came home. Did you talk to Sarah's dad? I said, yes, I did, okay. But at least she understood. She understood. But I had a good relationship with my kids, okay. I want to ask you a question. How are you funded? Some of these things must cost money, okay?
Yeah, donations and sponsorships mostly, and grants.
And grants, yeah.
Okay. And who writes the grants?
It's kind of collective. I'll do most of it, and then I send it to the rest of the team and have them edit and make sure that the whole
How many
picture's
people are
there.
involved in the organization from your position? Not, you know, I mean, people on your staff or committee or whatever.
Well, we have a board, and it's a board of 3, and hopefully we will grow because there's a lot to do.
There's so much, and the more we get our name out there, the more we realize how the need is growing.
Yeah, exactly. Sure.
And we would love to expand our team and just be able to support more and be available for them. So right now there's 3 of us, and we're all wives.
We are onboarding new volunteers.
Yes.
We've gotten, was it 11, maybe a little bit more than that, volunteer applications in the last few months. And so this weekend we are going to onboard people that were interested in being in our crisis response team. So if there is a need, whether it's cleaning somebody's house, if they're in a mental health crisis and cleaning isn't available, we can step in and do that. Mowing the lawns, things like that. We'll have a team ready.
Okay, excellent. Well, proud of you. And you're serving all 5 police agencies here, okay? Well, okay, if you're paying attention, if you can help these gals, I hope that you'll check it out, okay? You're a 501c3, I take it? Okay, good. If you want more information, you can search Wenatchee Blue Family, correct? Or you can even, as always, contact me, maddog at NWI.net. I will be happy to give you more information. But ladies, thank you very much. Very, very important work what you're doing, and I very much appreciate it, both from my heart and the fact that I'm a strong supporter of the police. We're
about to recruit you to be a volunteer, so get ready.
Well, even on my curb in front of my house, I have a blue strip, so cops know that they are welcome here. So.
That's perfect.
Okay, well, hey, Street Talk and other stuff. I appreciate you tuning in today. Appreciate you always being here. Pay attention. If you can help these ladies, let us know. But thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.